All right, let's begin with this. And don't forget, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, such as getting art classes, I could teach you guys how to paint realistically in under 1 week. This was my first, this was a student who never painted before. That's right, people, never painted before. So if you guys want to learn how to paint like this in 1 week, I'll show you guys, or your money back if you don't learn. That's a guaranteed. You guys can come to New York City, take one-on-one individual classes, and if you don't want to do it, you can refer someone and I'll give you a reference money for the reference. Okay, it's like 10%. The classes start at $1,000. 1 week individual classes. Let's begin with my boy Seals the Man.
Have you ever been tested? You know, thinking about that, that's a wild way to start a video because that can mean so many things. But have you ever been tested? And that professor, that teacher that is conducting this test is not accredited in a college or a school. His profession is not being a professor, but this person that is giving you this test is your boo thing, your man, your guy, someone who is interested in you. Have you ever been tested by that person? You see, I made a video on this a long time ago, kind of went viral too. But the reason why it went viral is because there were so many different reactions on being tested and the reality of being tested by others. Some people took offense to being tested. Some people said it makes sense. So you had this war of words going on, but it is a real thing. It's a reality. People will test you to see how you are in different circumstances.
The problem is that some people are just so goofy. They think they're living la la land. Like, why do we gotta test? Shut the fuck up. That's life, motherfucker. Like, god damn, wake up. I mean, how have you lived life without knowing this? Sorry.
Different situations, the consistency in your personality, the decision making that you make on the things you feel like you need to do. People will test you and you will be graded. So in this video today, I'm going to talk about the reality, a part 2 even, of the things an interested man will test you on. And the first interesting way that a man will test you, or what he will test you on, is how you react to boundaries. Whether you respect his need for space or you just brush it off, push past it, disregard it for your own selfish reasons. Boundaries are...
Listen, this is so true, man. When I ask you, oh, I gotta work, and your goofy ass starts bothering me after sorry, I sound so mean. I'm not being mean, people. Sorry, maybe it's the new glasses. And you start coming to me after I ask you for some, like an hour or two of space. I'm like, oh, Lord, this is gonna be a tough day, man. I'm gonna have to offend this chick, man. You know, like, honestly, like, it's like, the problem is that you call that just being codependent. So that's the issue. It's just codependency. And in fact, if you're a codependent, you are going to attract guys that are avoidant, that want more space than necessary. And in order to stop attracting those guys, you have to learn how to be your own inner father. You got to learn how to be more dependent on yourself. Develop your inner masculine. Because when you lack the masculine, you're going to attract guys who are masculinely more toxic. Meaning, if you don't know how to be alone, you're going to attract the guy who wants to be alone. If you hate being around a person, like if you hate being too close to people, you're going to attract a woman who's going to be too needy and creepy. That's how nature works.
Important. And they're not just important for keeping things out, but they're important for keeping things in. And one of the most major things that decent men want to keep in is their peace, serenity. What they don't want is insanity. And that is why when a man wants to have his time alone, have some space sometimes to figure things out or just be to himself.
Yeah, you that's how you show your worth. You show your worth by having the consciousness of understanding that sometimes you got to give a motherfucker space, man. Goddamn.
That is important to him because that is part of his process and his peace. This is also why communication is important when you're talking about yourself and the things you like and the things you expect, because your partner should not be blindsided by the things that matter the most to you, I'll say, especially that being boundaries. So if there is a man who likes these type of boundaries for his own specific reasons, and he's told you this about himself, those are going to be the things that he expects you to understand and respect. And with you having this knowledge of him, and he tries to get his space, his personal vacation from all things, and you disregard what he told you, you don't respect his space or his boundaries, then you have failed his test. One thing to take note is that the type of woman who gets tested on this, boundaries, are especially the women who don't respect boundaries or take them for play. If a man tells you like, hey, I'm really big on my boundaries, I'm really big on taking space to myself, and you just hit him with the, oh, okay, that's cute, or you don't really give full and meaningful understanding of it, that man is more likely to test you because he sees that you're not being for real with his desired preference, his personal need. So if you are that type of woman who doesn't take what he says seriously, he will
Girl,
most
you better.
likely test you just to see how serious you are with the things that's serious to him. Let's go to another thing that interested men will test seriously on a woman is how you handle disagreements. He want to see if you fight fair or you go in for the kill. He want to
Oh my God, like that's such a big one, man. You start telling how I have a small dick when we're arguing, we're gonna have a problem. You're crazy. If you're gonna start, oh, I'm gonna call the cops on your ass. Okay, you're crazy. Or if you start telling me my secrets that I told you because you're mad, let me just keep listening to it.
see if you are intelligent, emotionally intelligent, and having a conversation, or you just here to start an argument and get the last word.
Well, some women are just there to start the argument. That's a problem, right? That's why I tell you guys, man. Book a one-on-one phone call with me, man. Y'all don't know how crazy sometimes we look when we're in love. And sometimes you need Father Alex's advice to tell you that you're in the wrong path. That's right. If you want to book a phone call, you know exactly when I'm available. If you book it by with the new system, because we just updated my website. And yeah, so you book a one-on-one phone call and I can show you guys exactly what you're doing wrong. And don't forget, there's a free gift for all y'all. A free audiobook and ebook. Just put your email down and I'll send it straight to your inbox. We fixed it yesterday, but the ebook didn't work again. I don't know, man. I'm just so bad at this. So we're gonna fix it tomorrow morning, okay? Let's continue with our boy CEOs.
He wants to see if you're able to have a mature conversation or if you're going to make it just about yourself and how you feel. Disagreements will show the truth in people. Lord knows that is the truth. I have befriended a few good amount of people based on the truth that they told me and showed when a disagreement arose.
I imagine politics.
Like, dang, I didn't know you felt that way. But it took us arguing and you getting upset for you to show me your real face.
How about your real face, CEOs? Maybe you did something wrong. Oh, you playing the victim.
Interesting. A man will test you on that because if you are the type of woman who's going to make an argument about how you feel and about only how you feel, you don't put his feelings into consideration. You don't try to make it a partner agreement or a partner centralized solution. It's just about you. If you're the type of woman to try to cause emotional damage because a conversation or things aren't going your way, then he is going to define you by those moments of truth.
Problematic.
That is how you act in disagreements. How you handle these moments of turbulence speaks on how you will handle things in the long term. It also shows on a deeper level if you are trustworthy. Because if you are someone who snaps easily or gets violent, putting hands on a man, or if
Putting hands on a man. Oh my Lord. You even have the time to take your earrings off. Listen, girl. If that's on the time you're on, girl, you don't need a boyfriend. You need a priest. Ladies, don't put your hands on a man. Don't put your hands on a man. Just like a man should have put. I don't even need to say the opposite because we know the opposite. But don't put your hands on a man. Oh, but I'm a passionate Latina. I don't give a fuck, Maria. I don't care. Don't put your hands on a man. There's never excuse. The only guy you're gonna attract are guys that are bitches, guys that accept being abused. Don't put your hand on a man. I'm not talking for everyone. I'm talking for a very small minority, but I know this exists.
you are super emotional, not only isn't he going to trust you in those moments of conversation, but he's not going to trust you with his money.
But if he does trust you, you're not gonna respect the guy who trusts you after you breaking his trust, right? You can't respect that. You're gonna say, "Yo, is this guy dumb? This guy has to be dumb that he trusts me despite all of this."
All money, because if you flipping off all violently and sporadically over a conversation, then who
hell
says you
no.
don't run off with our money or do something petty with our finances? If you are like this, a man is not going to trust you around the kids. Because if you are snapping like this, who says you're not going to put your anger out on others, especially the kids?
Who says, of course you will? Listen, the only guys you're gonna attract are pushovers. You don't want a pushover. Women who date pushovers can never be happy with that guy.
He is not going to trust you in a lot of categories because trustworthiness does not just rely on truth and lies, but it also lies in how you manage your life. And if you seem questionable in that part of your life, then trust and believe you will be tested. And this leads me to my next thing that a lot of men will test a woman on, and that is whether you keep his vulnerability safe. Whether you are a safe, a locked fort, or you are a running faucet.
Yeah, we got
Just
a bunch of
can't keep your mouth
chismosas,
closed.
man.
As my grandma used to say, a
Chismosas.
bucket with the holes in the bottom. You just can't
Chismosas.
hold water. One of the worst things that can happen, especially piggybacking off the last point in disagreements, is for someone to bring up something that you confided in them. You saw this person as a trustworthy person.
Oh, that's why you got a small dick. You really gonna bring that up now? Yeah, motherfucker. I bet. No, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean to do that. Nah, I bet you said that shit, man. I bet. Then you apologize. You cook him something nice, right? Crazy shit, man.
and you told them something private that you would
Mm,
hardly tell anyone else if you
mm,
would tell anyone else, and they
mm.
bring it back up to
Ooh,
hurt your
man.
feelings, to prove their point. That is
That's
the
God's
worst.
that's God's blessing. God is blessing you right now because he's exposing you. He's exposing your enemies.
One of the worst things you can do, because you will automatically lose all my trust. Weaponizing my truth that I presented to you will make me your enemy. And that's the case for a lot of people. That is a clear violation. But if you are giving signs of that type of person, he will test you on that. Because once again, about trustworthiness, if he cannot trust you with his
He'll give you I'll give you a fake confession. If I feel you're chismosa, I'm gonna give you a fake confession.
vulnerabilities, his secrets, then it is most likely he is not going to want you or want to continue whatever y'all got going on right now. It's not worth it. And the next thing I want to talk about, and this is a big one, that men will test you on, specifically interested men, is how you speak on others. Now, there is so many layers to this. Don't get me wrong. I find absolutely no problem with your partner, your woman, your man being able to come to you and them telling you how their day went or what happened with so-and-so because they trust me. I trust you to be able to do that. But where things get sticky is when you are gossiping and talking junk and mess about other people. Because what I automatically think is, dang, you are going to town on this person verbally. What makes you not talk about me like this? Especially when you are talking about my relative, someone that I love or care about. That's where things get real sticky, where the lines get blurred. If you have the audacity to come to
Chismosa,
me
bro.
and talk mess about someone that I love, someone that I care about, that shows that you have no respect for me. Because I would never in my life come to you and talk mess about someone that you care about and will go to war for because I respect you that much. If you are having a problem with that person, I will give advice. I will try to be that solution bearer for you, but I will never talk mess about your loved one. That's just out of respect to you. It's like for those who have siblings, right? And say, for instance, you and your brother, or you and your sister had a big argument that morning before y'all went to school or went out, and y'all literally hate each other in that morning. But later on, you find out that your sibling is getting in a fight with somebody. Are you not going to run over there and help your sibling because y'all just had a huge argument this morning? Because y'all fake hated each other this morning? Heck no. You are running over there and shaking the table for your sibling, for your brother and your sister, because at the end of the day, that is your loved one. And then at the end, you say, nobody hits my brother or my sister except for me. That is because that love that you have for that person is real. And the same applies for someone talking about your loved one. If you're able to talk down on my loved ones, red flag. If you are talking junk about someone, a good person, a kind-hearted person who does not warrant this gossip and this mess talking that you're doing, red flag. If you are a big talker, a big chick chatter, you are more likely to be tested
Patty.
because of your reputation. Your reputation precedes you. If you notice, people who talk a lot, you've heard that from somebody else. Somebody told you that. Watch out for that person. They talk a lot. Don't tell that person your secrets because they will run and tell everybody. People like that gets tested. The next interesting thing that an interested man, a serious man, will test you on.
So I'm writing an essay
Yeah,
on cats.
it's crazy, bro. It's kind of crazy. I totally agree with him, man. I totally agree. Some people just can't keep their mouth shut. That's all. They just cannot keep their mouth shut, and they don't even notice that they're exposing themselves. They don't even notice it.
What once took me
Is the consistency of your affection, the consistency of your wants and your desire for him. He wants to see what your affection, your wants, and your desire is based on. Do you actually like this man? Do you actually love this man for who he is? Or do you just do it because of what he does for you or for what he has? If you treat this man like a king when he's able to give you anything you want at the drop of a dime.
No, I totally agree, man. You guys can finish watching his video. We watch way too much of it, man. Anyways, thank you, Seals. I appreciate you. You and your beanie hats. You should sell your beanie hats, bro. Y'all be safe, and don't forget check out my new course, the Commitment Formula. It's a course that I created especially for y'all out there who want commitment. If you guys don't believe in my courses, check it out, man. Or your money back. If you guys want art classes straight from Father Alex, you guys can book an art class. Look, look, man. Y'all know Father Alex lays that brush down. Y'all know that. I don't guarantee shit without guaranteeing. I'm swear to God, if you guys ever take art classes from me, you will learn how to paint realistically or your money back. That is a fact. Fact. You know, I may get an apartment with two houses so that y'all can stay there and learn and stay there so y'all can learn. May include that in the price. No, may add a price. That's a little too expensive.